Fine, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Of
Actually,
course.
I already interviewed you in New York before WrestleMania 35, so I've been your lucky charm that time. I
Yes, you
hope
are
for
my
you,
lucky charm.
I
Lovely.
hope for you this will be the same now.
Yes.
Well, in 2017, you made your SmackDown debut with Peyton attacking Charlotte Flair. Today, you are still at SmackDown. How much has the Blue roster changed in these almost 4 years? And how much have you changed?
Oh, I mean, SmackDown has really, I wouldn't say changed, it's just evolved. And that's what I love about WWE. Everything's always evolving. We have such a great roster of superstars. You know, when the draft happens, we get to see this mix up and this shake up, and it makes, both brands, Raw and SmackDown, just full of changes and surprises. So it definitely has evolved over the past, 4 years or 3 or 4 years. For me personally, I think the biggest change for me is I'm by myself now. I'm no longer, a part of the Iconics. So that was the biggest change for me, in the past 6 months. So I've just been really enjoying this time where I can evolve and kind of change as a singles competitor. So it's been really, really exciting.
SmackDown women's divisions is at the highest level. I mean, Bailey, Sasha Banks, Carmella, Bianca Belair, you, and many others. Other than you, who do you think is the best in this moment?
Oh, that's like trying to get me to pick my favorite child. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. Because like you said, the SmackDown women's division it's so elite. Like we have the best women's division. It's stacked. It's completely stacked. I mean, when you're talking about the best, I feel like you have to reference the champion, the SmackDown women's champion, Sasha Banks. When you're talking about the best, she is the champion. So I would definitely have to say her, but the rest of the roster is just incredible. Like you mentioned, Bailey, Natalia, the Riot Squad, myself, Tamina, Carmella, Bianca Belair, we've got such a high standard. And that's really special to be a part of because it makes me want to be on their level, want to bring my A game to everything that I do.
Instead of looking for a new tag team partner, have you ever thought about joining the fight for the title of Sasha?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. It's interesting. I've just always been in a tag team. So I feel like I'm still trying to really go out there on my own. But absolutely. I mean, to be in the ring with Sasha Banks would be a dream come true. That would be a privilege to be in the ring with her. It's definitely in the back of my mind. I'm just going to see how things go. I've got to get the headshot and resume out to a couple of more people, put some feelers out there, as I say, and we'll see what happens. But absolutely, that's definitely, I feel like that's on everyone's mindset. You want to go against the champion. You want to see if you can hold your own against the best.
I read in an old interview that every year you write down your goals on a sheet of paper. Which ones did you write for 2021?
Oh, they're quite personal to me. I'll give you one because there is a list. Which one should I tell you? I'm trying to think. Okay, so the one was I would love to be a part of a Survivor Series team. So SmackDown Survivor Series this year, that's one of my goals for 2021.
Of course, not now because she's a Raw superstar. But would you like to face Peyton as an opponent in the future?
Oh, I mean, I would because I miss her. So any way that I can get her, even if I have to fight her. No, I think I would like to. Our story and our journeys have always been entwined together. So to be in the ring with her would still feel so comfortable, but we're so competitive as well. So I think it would be a lot of fun. So yeah, I would love to be in the ring with her in any way.
I know you are a Disney Classics fan. What is
Mhm.
your favorite movie?
Oh, that's another hard one too. You hit me with the hard questions today. I have to give you like maybe a top three. The Little Mermaid, of course. Beauty and the Beast, and I'll just give you those two because I can't. There's two other many ones. I'll just give you those two.
Okay. You started to watch wrestling when you were 10. When did you realize you could truly become a pro wrestling superstar?
I'd probably say around 15, 16 was when I feel like I made that decision that I could do this and that I wanted to do this. I wanted to, devote my life to being in the WWE. So from that point on, it was just all about training and kind of being on this journey to be in the WWE.
How do you feel when you read the WWE email asking you to work with them?
So it's actually, it was an email. I'll never forget the moment. I received the email it was very early in the morning. I want to say it was like 5:30 in the morning, and I'm not awake at that time at all. But I remember hearing my phone like ding, and I like for some reason woke up straight away and checked it and read the email, and it said, WWE would like to hire you. And I remember screaming. I ran out of my bedroom, and my mum and my sister were in front of me, and they were like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I was like crying my eyes out by then. And I said, "WWE want to hire me." And my sister ran downstairs, opened up the front door, and yelled out to my dad, who was in the garage. And she's like, Dad, come in, come in. And he comes running in the house thinking that something is terribly wrong. I'm standing upstairs just crying. My mum's just like in shock. And he runs up the stairs and he grabs me by the shoulders and he starts shaking me. And he goes, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I was like, "WWE want to hire me." And then he just started bawling his eyes out, and he like grabbed me and hugged me. And my mum hugged me, and we got on the phone to my brother straight away. And it was such like a special moment for my family as well. Like it really kind of like brought us all together in this really special way. And then after that is when I called Peyton, and she had received the same email. So that was probably about 10 or 15 minutes later that we told each other the fantastic news.
And what did your brother Jacob tell you when he heard that you would make your childhood dream come true?
He was in disbelief. He was overrun with emotion, and he was very overwhelmed. He's always been like my protector in life, being a big brother, and he's just always been there for me. And for him, it was just so surreal because he was the one that got me into watching wrestling, and now I was going to leave and move to America to be in the WWE. So it was very surreal for him. And I just always go back to being that 10-year-old little girl watching it with my big brother. Like that's just the start of all of this and this crazy journey. And it's just been the best time ever.
What would you have done if you had failed to become a WWE superstar?
I don't know. I was always drawn to like entertainment. Like I always wanted to like be a performer. I want to say I would really be pursuing acting. I love comedy films. Like I love to make people laugh. It brings me so much joy. So I would definitely try to be pursuing acting if I wasn't here. But on the flip side of that, like I get asked that question by a few people, and I always have to think about it because when I was younger, there wasn't anything else. Like I had sacrificed so much in my life to get to the WWE. I didn't have a backup plan. So only now that I'm like older, I was like, well, if I had to do something, it would probably be acting, just because I was always drawn to be an entertainer.
At WrestleMania 35, you won the tag titles. You held them for 4 months, and then you ended up a bit in the background in the various storylines. How did you leave that period?
How did we leave what, sorry?
How did you leave that period when you ended up a bit in the background in the various storylines?
Just
After
in
you
terms of
lost
being,
the titles. After you
yeah, it was,
titles.
I mean, that whole 4 months was just like so many highs and lows. It was such like an emotional roller coaster because, as you said, we won the women's tag team championships at WrestleMania. Like that, it doesn't like get any higher than that for someone's career, winning a championship at WrestleMania. So that was just like the biggest tick off the bucket list I could ever do. And then we were fortunate enough to be champions for the 4 months. And that was like Peyton and I's goal, was to always help pioneer the tag team division. So to be able to say that we were champions is just really something very special to us. I think we will be champions again. I hope in the near future that the Iconics can come back together and get another tag team title reign, but we will have to see about that. But yeah, it was so special, just being a champion in a division that we love so much.
What is the difference between perform at NXT and in the main rosters, and which of the two atmospheres do you prefer?
It is different. It's hard to put into words. I feel like it's just the atmosphere, if that makes sense. NXT is filmed in a smaller venue, and then when you go into the main roster, the arenas are just enormous, and there's thousands and thousands of fans, and you know it's live TV, and there's just it seems like it's just a bigger world out there. But you know, NXT has come so far since I have been there. They've, you know, really kind of stood out as its own brand. NXT is an incredible part of WWE. It is, you know, the third brand. It's very special. It's where I learned a lot about myself as a person and a performer. So I love my time in NXT. I've loved my time on Raw. I've loved my time on SmackDown. If I had to choose one, I feel like it's just where I am right now. I feel like I really enjoy and love being a part of the SmackDown show and the SmackDown women's division, because right now I feel like I'm getting my groove in, and I'm really enjoying this experience.
Thank you again for your time, Billie. I ask you just if you can say hello to your Italian fans.
How would I say that? Sorry, I just can't hear you properly.
If you can say hello to your Italian fans.
Hello, Italian fans. Thank you so much for your love and support. Mwah.
Thank you again.
Thank you.